Welcome to our channel, your go-to source for cutting-edge tech news and global insights. Buckle up because today we're diving into a story that could shake the very foundation of the tech world. The United States has issued a chilling ultimatum to TSMC, the world's largest chipmaker, threatening to cancel its operations in China by July 8th. Is this the spark that ignites a semiconductor apocalypse? Stay with us until the end to uncover the shocking details and what it means for the future of technology. This is a story you cannot afford to miss. The global semiconductor industry is a $600 billion juggernaut, powering everything from your smartphone to AI systems revolutionizing the world. But a seismic shift is brewing, and the stakes couldn't be higher. With the U.S.-China tech war escalating, the Trump administration's latest move could disrupt the global supply chain, spike prices, and reshape the future of innovation. What's behind this July 8th deadline? And why is TSMC, the titan of chip manufacturing, caught in the crosshairs? Let's break it down. Before we dive deeper, if you're as obsessed with tech breakthroughs and global trends as we are, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Trust me, you want to be part of this conversation. Don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss an update from our channel. Now, let's get to the heart of this story. For those new to the topic, let's set the stage. TSMC, or Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, is the backbone of the tech world. They produce over 60% of the world's advanced chips, powering devices from iPhones to NVIDIA's AI GPUs. Companies like Apple, AMD, and Qualcomm rely on TSMC's cutting-edge 3nm and 5nm chips to stay ahead in the race for innovation. But here's the kicker. TSMC operates factories in China, and the U.S. is now threatening to shut them down. Why? It's all about national security, AI dominance, and the intensifying U.S.-China tech war. The U.S. has been tightening the screws on China's access to advanced technology for years. From export controls on AI chips to restrictions on chip-making equipment, Washington is determined to slow China's rise in artificial intelligence and military tech. But the latest move is a bombshell. Reports indicate that the U.S. Department of Commerce is targeting TSMC's China-based operations, specifically those producing 7nm or smaller chips used in AI and high-performance computing. Why July 8th? That's the deadline for TSMC to comply with new export restrictions or face severe consequences, potentially including sanctions or a complete ban on its China operations. This isn't just about TSMC. It's about the global balance of power. The U.S. fears that advanced chips made in TSMC's China factories could end up in the hands of Chinese tech giants like Huawei, which is already on Washington's restricted entity list. In fact, a recent discovery sent shockwaves through the industry. A TSMC chip was found inside Huawei's Ascend 910B processor, raising red flags about potential export control violations. TSMC insists it didn't know the chip would end up with Huawei, but the damage was done. Now the U.S. is cracking down, and TSMC is caught in a geopolitical firestorm. To understand why this matters, let's talk about the stakes. Semiconductors are the lifeblood of modern technology. Without them, your phone, your car, even your smart fridge stops working. AI, 5G, autonomous vehicles, and military systems all rely on advanced chips. If TSMC's China operations are shut down, it could create a ripple effect across the global supply chain. Prices for electronics could skyrocket, production delays could cripple industries, and China's AI ambitions could take a hit, or some argue, be forced to accelerate in unexpected ways. Let's rewind for context. Back in November 2024, the U.S. ordered TSMC to halt shipments of 7nm and smaller chips to Chinese customers after the Huawei incident. TSMC complied, suspending shipments to companies like SMIC, a Chinese chip designer suspected of funneling chips to Huawei. But the July 8th deadline takes things to a whole new level. Sources say the U.S. is considering revoking waivers that allow TSMC, Samsung, and SK Hynix to use American technology in their China factories without case-by-case licenses. If these waivers are canceled, TSMC's China operations could grind to a halt, costing billions and reshaping the semiconductor landscape. Now, you might be wondering, why is TSMC so critical to this drama? It's simple. TSMC isn't just a chip maker. It's a strategic asset. Taiwan produces about 60% of the world's semiconductors, and TSMC is the crown jewel. If China were to gain control of TSMC's technology, whether through trade violations or, in a worst-case scenario, a military move on Taiwan, it could dominate the global tech industry. The U.S. sees this as a national security threat, and they're not taking any chances. Some analysts even claim the U.S. would rather destroy TSMC's factories than let them fall into Chinese hands. Sounds extreme, but it underscores just how high the stakes are. But here's where it gets complicated. TSMC isn't just a pawn in this game. It's a global powerhouse with its own agenda. The company has invested heavily in the U.S., with a $100 billion plan to build 5 new factories in Arizona by 2030. These factories will produce cutting-edge 2-nanometer chips, reducing America's reliance on foreign semiconductors. But TSMC has also warned that tariffs or restrictions on its operations could backfire. In a letter to the U.S. Commerce Department, TSMC argued that tariffs on chips could raise costs for American consumers and reduce demand for its services, hurting the very companies the U.S. is trying to protect, like Apple and Nvidia. And then there's China's side of the story. Beijing is watching this closely, and they're not sitting idly by. China's semiconductor industry is already ramping up, with companies like SMIC pushing to develop advanced chips despite U.S. sanctions. Some experts argue that these restrictions could accelerate China's domestic chip industry, forcing them to innovate faster. For example, Huawei has been working with SMIC to produce 5-nanometer and even 3-nanometer chips, a feat many thought impossible under current sanctions. If TSMC's China operations are shut down, Chinese firms might double down on self-reliance, potentially closing the gap with Western tech giants. So, what happens if the July 8th deadline passes and TSMC's China operations are canceled? Let's break down the potential fallout. First, the global chip supply could take a hit. TSMC's China factories account for a significant portion of its production, and shutting them down could lead to shortages, especially for AI and high-performance computing chips. Second, prices for electronics could surge, hitting consumers hard. Third, China's tech giants like Alibaba and Tencent could face delays in their AI projects, but they might also pivot to domestic suppliers, boosting companies like SMIC. And finally, TSMC itself could face financial losses, with its stock already taking a hit after news of the deadline broke. But it's not all doom and gloom. Some analysts believe TSMC is too big to fail. The company's global dominance and its investments in the U.S. give it leverage. Plus, Taiwan's government has strict regulations preventing TSMC from producing its most advanced 2-nanometer chips overseas, ensuring Taiwan remains a critical player in the semiconductor game. Still, the July 8th deadline is a wake-up call. It's a reminder that the tech world is no longer just about innovation. It's about geopolitics, power, and control. Here's the big question. Is this really a semiconductor apocalypse, or is it just another chapter in the U.S.-China tech war? The truth is, no one knows exactly how this will play out. If the U.S. follows through on its threat, it could reshape the global economy. If TSMC finds a way to navigate these restrictions, it might emerge stronger than ever. And if China accelerates its chip-making efforts, we could see a new tech superpower rise. One thing's for sure. The next few weeks will be critical, and our channel will be here to keep you updated every step of the way. Before we wrap up, we want to hear from you. What do you think about this July 8th deadline? Will it spark a global chip crisis, or is it just political posturing? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know what tech topics you want us to cover next. AI breakthroughs, the future of 6G, or maybe the rise of quantum computing. We're all about delivering the content you want. So, hit that like button and subscribe to join our community and stay in the loop. Let's talk about what this means for the future. The semiconductor industry is at a crossroads. TSMC's dominance has been a stabilizing force, but with tensions rising, companies and consumers alike are bracing for impact. Could this push innovation in unexpected directions? Some say China's investment in RISC-V architecture and domestic chip makers could challenge Western dominance in the long run. Others believe TSMC's global expansion, especially in the U.S., will keep it ahead. The clock is ticking, and July 8th could be a turning point. The implications of this deadline go beyond chips. It's about AI supremacy, national security, and the future of technology. Will the U.S. succeed in curbing China's tech ambitions? Or will it spark a new wave of innovation in Beijing? And what does it mean for the devices you use every day? Stay tuned to our channel for the answers. Thanks for watching. This is just the beginning of our coverage on the semiconductor saga. What do you want to see next? A deep dive into China's chip-making push, the future of AI hardware, or maybe how this affects the price of your next phone? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more hard-hitting tech news. This is our channel signing off. Stay curious, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next one. Subscribe to our channel now and join our vibrant community of forward thinkers, change makers, and revolutionaries.